I want to go to Queensland now and catch up with Keith Pitt, the former Resources Minister, Nationals MP, joins us from Bundaberg. Good to speak to you again, Keith. Look, the Taliban are already in Baku in Azerbaijan, along with all sorts of representatives from a range of countries around the world, and the climate funds at the UN are demanding more money from donor nations, and Chris Bowen is on his way over there with our tax dollars. Should we be worried?
Well, Chris, unfortunately, it's already too late. Chris Bowen signed us up to this at the last COP. If you remember climate reparations, it was a blank cheque. No one knew how much it was. Well, now there's a number. It's $1.8 trillion Australian a year. Who knew climate privilege would cost so much? And it's coming from the West to third world countries. And if you look at China, for example, allegedly a developing nation, they're going to build 300 gigawatts, if I remember correctly, of coal-fired power stations. 300 gigawatts. That's 5 times Australia's East Coast market.
Extraordinary, and we're putting ourselves through economic turmoil, trying to reduce our meagre 1% of emissions. But we don't know how much Chris Bowen's actually going to hand over, how much of that $1.8 trillion is going to come from Australia, do we? Is there any suggestion there'll be any numbers touted at this conference?
Well, not that I'm aware of. I think it would be extremely foolish of the Albanese government to put a number on it just before an election campaign, especially a number that could probably fund a hospital, fix a lot of roads and help people with cost of living right now. So I think that will be quite the tightly kept secret, Chris.
Surely the election of Donald Trump changes everything, though, for these COP talks. We expect he'll pull out of Paris. You have the largest economy in the world and the largest emitter in the world, or either first or second, pulling out of the talks. Won't that force a reality check on them all?
Well, President-elect Trump said he'd get out of Paris last time, and he did. That's exactly what happened. The world's biggest emitters are China, the US, Russia and India. And to be honest, there's not much going on there. It's about 57% of all world emissions. And they're going up in China, as you know, by an equivalent of Australia's entire contribution. So, yes, I think the election of Donald Trump will make a significant difference in terms of the attitude to making changes in this area. But it won't make a difference whatsoever, not one iota, to the Albanese Labor government. They'll continue on the road that they're on. It's an extraordinarily costly road, and it just got more expensive.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks for joining us, Keith. I appreciate it. Keith Pitt, the Nationals MP, joining us live from Bundaberg.